Hi, I'm Michelle Bege with a look at what's happening in Latin America now. But first, our news trivia. What capital city in Latin America is on an environmental alert for the Amazon's forest fires? We'll have the answer later. Costa Rica will vote for its new president in a runoff election on April 3rd. Former president from 1994 to 1998, José María Figueres, led the polls in this weekend's elections, followed by Rodríguez Chávez from the Social Democratic Progress Party. Despite a recent surge in COVID cases, citizens went out to vote on Sunday, as many voiced frustrations with the country's high unemployment rate and recent corruption scandals. We will be following Figueres and Chávez's campaigning leading up to the runoff vote. And these images are from Tijuana, Mexico, where government officials broke up a camp of about 380 migrants making their way to the United States. The families, mostly from Central America and Mexico, were told to pick up 3 changes of clothing to the new shelter that is located south of San Diego, California. Now let's check in with my colleague Joel Richards in Argentina, who has a story about rising death tolls in Argentina because of contaminated cocaine.
Last week, at least 24 people died and more than 200 were hospitalized, many in critical condition after taking cocaine that authorities believe was mixed with an opioid. This was in the western suburbs of Buenos Aires, and then this week more people have been taken to hospital, this time in Rosario, the city to the north of Buenos Aires. There have been a series of arrests, large amounts of cocaine have been seized during police raids, and there are still different theories about exactly what happened here. One of those theories is that smaller gangs appeared during the pandemic, and that this tragedy is down to a simple mistake made while mixing the drugs. Another theory points to a possible conflict between traffickers. So while the authorities investigate, this case has reopened the public debate over drug policy, the so-called war on drugs, and also about addiction.
Now let's take a look at the stories we're following for next week. First, we continue to follow the recuperation of one of Colombia's greatest cyclists. Egan Bernal was discharged after 2 weeks in the hospital, where he underwent several surgeries. Bernal is the only Latin American to win a Tour de France, and he was hospitalized after crashing into a parked bus while training outside of the Colombian capital. He underwent spinal surgery, and doctors worked to repair fractures in his right leg. And second, Peru's president is naming his 4th cabinet in just 6 months. Pedro Castillo has been moving increasingly to the right as he changes his prime ministers. The latest move to naming Héctor Valer, a conservative Catholic lawmaker, caused an uproar with allegations that Valer beat his daughter and late wife. The prime minister has confirmed his departure, and Castillo faces his new reshuffle. And third, in Brazil, we are following the death of a 24-year-old Congolese immigrant, Moise Kabagampe. Thousands went out to protest in Rio de Janeiro on Saturday, demanding justice and against acts of racism. Kabagampe was beaten to death outside the kiosk where he worked over an alleged dispute about unpaid wages. And now the answer to our news trivia. The answer is A. Bogotá is on an environmental alert due to the forest fires that have been raging in the Colombian Amazon rainforest. The Colombian government says there are 17 wanted individuals for allegedly starting fires to appropriate the land in the Amazon. And that's it for this week. We'll see you again soon on Latin America Now.